today for the bid conference for goods and services under invitation to bid number 2025-004. We are live via YouTube in compliance to Department Order number 06 series of 2024, which directs us to stream activities like this for accountability and transparency of procurement processes. Before we proceed, we request the Secretariat for a roll call and include the acknowledgement of guests present.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Our attendees for today's activity, credit conference for goods and services. We have here the back members, starting with our Vice Chairperson, Engineer Leslie Figueroa.
Present.
Our regular member, Engineer Jeffrey C. Salmon.
Present.
Our provisional members, Engineer Edwin N. Akop and Ms. Ferdinand Dinasaga.
Present.
From the back secretariat, we have the acting head, Engineer Arthur Nguyen Lord.
Present.
From the back to WG, we have the TWG members, Sir Giancarlo M. Anima.
Present.
We also have here the representatives from Sherlock Security, Ma'am Kenneth Luaron. We would also like to acknowledge our viewers via YouTube. Good morning and welcome. That would be all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Jacqueline. Since majority of the bank members are present, I hereby declare a quorum and call this meeting in order. We have the present agenda for this activity.
Agenda. First, brief presentation or explanation of the following. A. Basic contract data, including contract description, A. BC and duration. B. Requirements of bidding documents, including instructions to bidders, general conditions of contract, special condition of contract, specifications, bill of quantities and forms. C. Documents to be submitted by the bidders. Technical component of the bid and financial component of the bid. D. Criteria and procedure for eligibility check, primary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects, and award. Second, questions or comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. Third, other matters. 3. Strike policy against violation of Section 69.1.I of the IRR of R.A. 9184. Fourth, summary of proceedings, including supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued.
Thank you. Any motion to adopt this agenda?
Move to adopt the present agenda.
I second the motion.
It has been moved by Engineer Jacob and seconded by Engineer Salmon. And with no objection, the motion to adopt this agenda is hereby approved. First in the order of business is the explanation of basic contract data, including contract description, ABC, and duration. This will be presented to us by Ms. Flordini Lasanda.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Invitation to bid for goods and services number 2025-004. Contract ID number 25GLI006 with PR number 2025-06-042 dated June 19, 2025. Contract name, Security Services for DPWH Davao de Oro, 2nd District Engineering Office, Compostela, Davao de Oro. Contract location, Davao de Oro. Brief description of goods to be procured, job order contract of service. Approved budget for the contract is 1,214,898 pesos and 48 centavos. Source of funds, ELCY 2025. Delivery date of goods, 394 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. That will be all now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Flordini, for your explanation of the projects to be procured by interested bidders. Next in the order of business is the brief explanation of the requirements of bidding documents, the documents to be submitted by the bidders, and other reminders in the preparation and submission through audio-visual presentation.
To participate and qualify in our procurement activity, interested bidders are encouraged to read the following documents. First, instructions to bidders. Second, bid data sheet. Third, general conditions of the contract. Fourth, special conditions of the contract. Fifth, schedule of requirements. Sixth, technical specifications. Seventh, bill of quantities. Eighth, securities and other forms as may be required for the contract. Bidders are strongly advised to read each provision, especially the instructions to bidders and general conditions of the contract, whose special instructions are clearly spelled out in the bid data sheet and special conditions of the contract, respectively. Bidders are also encouraged to check the bill of quantities so that your bid will be responsive to the requirements set forth in the bidding documents. These documents can be downloaded free of charge from the PhilJEPS and DPWH websites. Interested bidders shall pay the applicable amount for the bidding documents not later than the submission of your bids. Documents to be submitted by the bidders. 1. Technical component of the bid. DTI or SEC registration. Mayor's permit. Statement of ongoing and similar completed government and private contracts. Audited financial statement, stamp received by the BIR. Income tax return of the preceding year filed and paid through the BIR, electronic filing and payment system. NFCC. Tax clearance. PhilJEPS Platinum membership. Bid security. Technical specifications. Production or delivery schedule. Warranty certificate if applicable. Brochures of offered equipment if applicable. Omnibus sworn statement. Secretary certificate and board resolutions if applicable. 2. Financial component of the bid. Bid form. Duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. Please be reminded that the following documents, Omnibus sworn statement, bid form, and bid securing declaration, if you opted to this type of bid security, should be in standard format as per guidelines of Government Procurement Policy Board in their resolution number 16-2020. Kindly check the format of the documents you are using to avoid being declared non-responsive pursuant for using unprescribed format. These documents should be submitted using 2-envelope system. Bidders are urged to only fasten the documents at the topmost portion instead of hard or soft binding them. Each document should be ear tagged appropriately. It should be labeled based on the name of the document attached, not the number or letter according to the checklist. There shall be 3 copies of these documents, original, copy 1 and copy 2. Original copies of technical component of the bid shall be sealed on one envelope, and original copies of financial component of the bid shall be sealed on another envelope. These envelopes should be labeled as original copy of technical component and original copy of financial component. These labeled envelopes shall then be sealed into one envelope and label it as original copy of the bid. The same process of sealing for copies 1 and 2. Lastly, original copies 1 and 2 of the bid shall be sealed into one final envelope and label it appropriately as instructed in the bidding documents. Bidders are encouraged to read Section 15 of the Instructions to Bidders, page 14, to fully understand the sealing and marking of bids. Submit your bids personally here in our office. Late bids will not be accepted. Further, on your bid form and bill of quantities, write legibly. Discrepancies between bid prices, in words and figures, the words will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing or filling out all the required items in the bidding documents, example, in the bill of quantities, the bid is considered non-responsive and is outright disqualified. Always check your documents before submitting the same to our end to avoid disqualification of your firm.
Thank you for the presentation. Next in the order of business is the explanation of the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects and award. This will be discussed again through audio-visual presentation.
The criteria for eligibility check are set forth in Section 23 of the revised implementing rules and regulations of RA 9184. All prospective bidders should have an updated Class A legal, technical, and financial documents and Class B documents if applicable. These documents were already discussed a while ago. During the opening of bids, the first envelope, which contains the technical component of the bid, shall be opened. After opening the first envelope, the back shall conduct preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. Bidders who pass the preliminary examination of their technical proposal, their financial proposal will be opened. All open financial components of the bid shall also undergo preliminary examination. If passed, the committee will read the bid amount stated in the bid form. The back shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the completeness of the bid and arithmetical corrections. Bids shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors and other bid modifications, to identify the lowest calculated bid. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents pursuant to Section 34 of the Procurement Law. If found to be responsive, the bidder will be declared lowest or single calculated and responsive bid and will be recommended for award of the contract. If found to be non-responsive, the committee will conduct post-qualification to the next lowest calculated bid rank during bid evaluation stage. The entries of the original copy of the bill of quantities shall be handwritten and be limited to 2 decimal places only and shall be signed by the duly authorized representative. Please take note that since this is under goods and services, we have no system yet for electronic submission, so the mode of submission of your bids shall be done on manual submission only.
Thank you for the presentation. We are now through with Agenda 1 and its subsection. We will proceed to Agenda 2. The questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC and the other representative of the touring entity. Any questions?
None so far, Madam Vice Chair. Livestream.
Okay. If there are no questions, we will proceed to... Excuse me, ma'am. Okay, sorry. Okay, if there are no questions, we will proceed to other matters. Three-strike policy against violation of Section 69.1.I of the IRR of RA 9184 to be discussed via audio-visual presentation.
May question from viewer, ma'am.
Ay, question?
Yes, ma'am.
Ay, okay. Naipahabol na question. Sa question na.
From Juby
Okay,
Jane.
from Juby J. Manlapas. Good morning from Vigilant Security. We would like to ask, is the admin fee minimum of 20% or maximum of 20%? Gone down na.
Ano mo sa application sa
Okay, wait lang sa kay check sa.
Lab.
Same lang. Isa lang siya po na, same lang. Ang
Now,
question.
sarang to sa computation.
Okay, check sa ang computation na.
Or maximum mo yan.
O minimum or maximum? Admin fee.
Satu na kami. Sa mga paano to.
Ano naman yung figuringan sa po, answer kay based sa computation is kuan lang siya kanang number of days, tapos ang ilahang mga 13th month kanang incentives and allowance, wala siya yung nakabutang nga kuan.
Agency share na. Sa agency share na.
Sa may siya ko mga maximum.
So far ka lang ako siya, wala pa mga pag-good may nakakuha na na.
Oo, lagi na siya under RA 11917 po kasi stated na minimum of 20% na ang admin fee. If I'm
About i-review pa ito.
Ako lang sang i-review, Ma'am Jovi Jane Malakas. Wala sang i-review ang RA 11917. So, mo issue lang may og bid bulletin. O na changes. Kung sa among check dito sa akin. Mabasa naman sa RA sa guidelines sa 11917. Maragkaan pa na ako.
So parang sa competition ng Longwood siya ma'am like is katulong sa ilahang para ma-reflect siya sa to ang request.
Kung may mga changes, ang walang mag-bid bulletin na rin. Thank you. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Welcome. So, any other, pahabol na lang po, basta napailain. Dili magod ang iyong sa live mo. So, no more pahabol question? Okay, so we will proceed the three-strike policy against violation of Section 69.1.I of the IRR of RA 9184 to be discussed via audio-visual presentation.
Three-strike policy against violation of Section 69.1.I of the IRR of RA 9184. In order to establish a fair and transparent system for managing offenses committed by bidders in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services projects through public bidding, the Department of Public Works and Highways hereby introduces an updated three-strike policy. This policy is aimed at enforcing adherence to the procurement guidelines stipulated under Section 69.1.I of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations of RA 9184. Under this policy, if a bidder commits 3 offenses or acts described as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. These offenses or acts are further classified into 3 major categories, as enumerated. Classification of offenses that triggers the three-strike policy and exceptions. 1. Withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit the bid after purchasing the bid documents. However, the Bids and Awards Committee recognizes certain valid reasons for these actions. If the bidder, after reviewing the bidding documents and evaluating the available market options, determines that the required goods or supplies either are not available or that the available alternatives do not meet the specified technical specifications. Additionally, if providing the specified goods or supplies would require the bidder to incur costs exceeding the competitive and financially viable range, or if adherence to the specifications would lead to a bid price that is not economically favorable, the bidder may withdraw. To validate this reason, the bidder should present an affidavit demonstrating that participating in the bid under these conditions would be financially unsustainable. 2. Submission of late bids without valid reasons, as determined by the BAC. Exceptions will be considered under extraordinary circumstances, such as force majeure. This refers to unexpected and unavoidable external events that impede or prevent a bidder from timely bid submission, as defined in Article 1174 of the Philippine Civil Code. 3. Submission of patently insufficient bid. A patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. The determination of whether bidder committed such an offense may occur during eligibility screening and/or shortlisting. 1. Submission of an expired Certificate of Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, PhilGEPS registration, Platinum membership, or Certificate of PhilGEPS certification containing expired Class A legal and financial documents, as determined during the eligibility screening. B. During bid evaluation. First, failure to submit required bid forms, as outlined in Annex C detailing the complete list of required bid forms. Second, submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion and/or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms, as per Annex C outlining the mandatory provisions of required forms. Third, submission of an unauthorized bid securing declaration, an omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement, or statements from all the potential joint venture partners, with the exception during the declaration of state of calamity, or implementation of community quarantine or similar restrictions declared or being implemented either in the locality of the procuring entity or of the bidder. Fourth, submission of the bid form, price schedules, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. C. During post-qualification. Participation in bidding for consulting services or goods and services contracts by bidder whose business type category, as indicated on the mayor's permit, does not match or unrelated to the contract being bid for, as determined during the post-qualification process. Third, enforcement and penalties. If a bidder commits any of the three major offenses or acts listed above 3 times within a year, starting from the approval date of the resolution recommending the imposition of Strike 1, first warning, which is counted as day 1, through day 365, and if these 3 offenses are of a similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of the stipulated administrative penalty, suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activities and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined in Annex A, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidder, thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any government procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declaration's conditions. In more severe instances, when a bidder commits another set of 3 similar offenses, or more than 2 sets of 3 similar offenses, instances where more than 6 similar offenses occur within the said 1-year time frame, the bidder may be subjected to an increased penalty resulting in blacklisting for a period of 2 years. The effective duration for the penalty of either 1 or 2 years applicable will be clearly stipulated in the blacklisting order, with the provision that the duration of blacklisting shall not exceed a maximum period of 2 years, commencing on the date the blacklisting order is approved and issued by the Secretary.
Thank you. We will now proceed to the last agenda. Summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued, to be presented by Engineer Samon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, viewers. All the needed information were discussed and explained. I would like to remind the prospective bidders to visit from time to time the DPWH and PhilGEPS websites, especially within 7 calendar days prior to the deadline of the submission of bids, for supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued there. Please also be reminded that the submission of bids on or before July 24, 2025 at 10 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid opening shall be immediately right after the bid submission deadline. That would be all, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. All of the business in the agenda were already taken into consideration. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move to adjourn this conference.
Second motion.
It has been moved by Engineer Samon and seconded by Ms. Jordani Nasaga, and with no objection, the motion to adjourn this conference is hereby approved. This conference is now adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming.